talk about it, and then you're like, yeah, I don't know how to start, and then you just go, you know what, I'm just going to start it,
Yeah,
and then you just start rambling.
Yeah. Have you seen Stick to Football when Gary Neville goes, right,
stop talking now. Yeah, literally.
That could be it. Right, you're doing your little Wigan accent.
Right, stop. To be fair, that is like the main thing I always think every time I do a video. I'm like, try and be less Wigan. Like, how do you try and be less Wigan? But I literally can't.
It's going to be tough to understand both of us, I reckon, with these broad northern accents going on.
Yeah, to be fair, definitely will.
We might get quicker and quicker and more broad as this podcast go on, so we might have to apologise to anybody that's listening straight away.
We might have to put subtitles on
for
anyone who doesn't understand us. I do apologise.
We'll have to hit our niche market of around the Manchester and Northern area.
Yeah, we'll stay northern, stay local.
Yeah.
Support local. Class.
So do you want to give people a bit of a roundup of, why we're here?
Yeah, absolutely. So how do we even meet? We just like started chatting on Instagram, really, didn't we, through just following each other and kind of being in the same field. And
I think it was I was coming into the space, and it was actually, I think it was Dan Norman.
Oh yeah.
I think maybe I'd found you beforehand, or he told me about you. It was one of those. But he mentioned you. I mentioned who's doing you. I seen him level up his content for a bit, and I was like, oh, who's helping you? Who's doing this? And then he mentioned you, and then I think I got in touch, and I was running a gym back in Barrow, and I wanted just a bit of advice and see how things were going and see if I was on the right path, really. So, because I was new to the whole, business side of things when it comes to social media. I'm sure we'll get onto all that story later on. But I think that's how it's come about, and and as you say, we've gone a bit of a trajectory where I like your content. I think it aligns to our values are pretty similar.
100%, yeah. Absolutely.
And we just carried on from there, really. So ultimately, it's been a couple of years. So when we could get have the opportunity to sit down and have a podcast and have a chat, you've got some things you want to say. You've got a bit of a journey that you're going on, and it's just a different style of content that we can kind of get out. And
absolutely,
you shouldn't really be giving everybody podcast mics, but hopefully this one's worth listening to.
Hopefully, I hope so. And like we said, hopefully people understand us.
Yeah.
Okay, so just tell me a little bit about you and how you got into doing what you're doing now.
It's been a bit of a weird journey. So I remember dropping out of sixth form and going into project management. I spent 7 years in kind of nuclear project management, submarines, power plants before. Really wanting to go travelling. It was one of my dreams to go travelling. I achieved that dream in 2019. 6 months later, COVID hit. 1 year around the world turned into 4 years being stuck in Australia. And I tried to pick up project management work in Australia. It didn't really pan out, so I was like, right, sod it, I'm going to carry on travelling around Australia and just enjoy my time. This is where I started enjoying Instagram a little bit more. I bought a camera, bought a drone. I started getting involved in some of the content, sharing some travels. I was always a fan of kind of photography, but I never stepped foot into the world of it. I remember buying a course from an influencer, a travel influencer, just to teach me a little bit more about it. And then from there, the goal was to be a travel influencer, really, and I was fascinated by everyone that was a digital nomad. I loved the digital nomad world. It was like, how do I do this? How can I do it?
When you're in Berlin, that's all anyone ever says. I'm a digital nomad. Yeah, I'm a digital nomad.
You know it all too well, especially around Southeast Asia. Everyone just living it up. But you see a lot more prevalent now on social media than it was kind of 4 or 5 years ago. So trying to get a foot in the door. How can I do this? How is it possible for me to even think that I can do this? Just a bloke from Barrow who's worked in submarines all his life. How is this going to be possible for me? Anyway, I carried on travelling. The dream ultimately turned into being a travel influencer, and I went all in on that. Leaving Australia, post-COVID travels, ended up doing really well. 10,000 followers, 10 million views in a matter of 2 or 4 months. It was flying, and unfortunately shit hit the fan and I ended up back at home. And that was when I kind of switched my mentality. I could do this for myself, then I just needed to get some money, so I started delivering it for businesses in the local area, and that is just how it's kind of carried on, really. The travel dream was over, but the business and social media marketing, the digital nomad kind of dream, it's still kind of alive, it's still there. So long story there. There's so many more moving parts within that, but that's how I'm here now. So there's been a lot of stepping stones, a lot of falling down, a lot of failing, a lot of learning. to get to where we are today.
Yeah, that sounds like it's not similar because I didn't go travel Australia or anything, but I kind of fell into this space by having another business before this that performed really well on social media, and it grew drastically through that. I was in a career that I really didn't like. I was teaching for about 5 years, and then I met Carl, who's my current partner, and he basically just changed my outlook on life. Like, he was in the military for like 10 years and then he quit, and I was like, what do you mean you've quit? You can't quit your career. And he was like, I just don't want to do it anymore, I want to do something different. I was like, and my head completely fell off because I was just in this constant like mindset of, this is your life now, you go and have a career and that is it. You get a house, you get married, that is your life. And I just, underneath me, I knew it wasn't really me, but I just thought that was what you was meant to do, so that's what I did. And then I just was really unhappy in my job, and I started a sweet business. It's really, really random. And like, literally, me and Carl just set up this business, delivering sweets. It was really random for gifts and stuff. But then it started
pretty counterintuitive compared to you love the gym as well.
Literally random. But everyone who does CrossFit and stuff loves like sweets and stuff like that. It's not like a bodybuilding world, so it's not as bad. So I just kind of fell into that, and like I just started getting a knack to social media and getting like a big following, and I was like, oh, okay, I've done this. And then lockdown hit, and it was like, all right, this dream's kind of over now, like what can we do? And it was like, businesses can still trade and all that stuff. So in lockdown it grew even bigger because people were delivering parcels to obviously people they couldn't see. And then we started doing it for gifting for like staff members for like AO and stuff like that, and it kind of just grew from there. And I was like, what the hell, this is mental. And as time went by, the more corporate gifting I did, I got into like LinkedIn, the business world, and people were asking me like, how have you done this on social media? And then I just started helping a few businesses, and then from that it was just growing and growing and growing that side, and I just fell in love with it more. And it was like not necessarily quitting what I'd built, but it was like accepting that I'd evolved into something else, and I felt like with this role I had more freedom. Like, I could not have staff members straight away and all like I was doing with the first business. I was kind of thinking, oh god, like I'm falling out of love with it a little bit. So I jumped and kind of sold that and kept going with this, and that's where I've kind of ended up being today. So that's kind of long story short. But I end up working with a lot of fitness professionals because obviously I'm into the gym, and I also co-own a gym, which is JST Training in Wigan. So that's where my story kind of is at the moment, working with fitness professionals on social media strategies and supporting them kind of build the business, but also now kind of moving more into that personal brand field where I'm helping people grow the brands rather than just be, this is just me, I'm doing some leg press and a wall ball or whatever they're doing. Do you know what I mean? A little bit more to it now, and I feel like I've established myself in the space enough now to be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's definitely one of the topics we'll get on today, in the fact that, you know, personal branding, storytelling.
Yeah.
But I want to come back to what you just mentioned before of, I think maybe why we connect so well is because nothing we've learned or been taught has been in a classroom.
No, literally nothing.
It's like, and that's my biggest tagline, you know, it's from real life experiences, from real life failures, from real life businesses, building something of your own before having the courage and to be able to deliver it to other people. So why do you think that is a massive bonus, especially in the social media or the marketing field, in having your own kind of case studies built rather than, you know, spending 40 years at uni doing it?
Yeah, so anything, like even going back to when I was training to be a teacher, the only time I ever learned anything was when I was on placement and I was actually doing the job itself. Like everything that I learned in the classroom, I didn't take forward, behaviour and all that stuff. Like you only learn when you're actually doing it. And I think with having the experience of, like you said, with your own travelling and mine with my own business, it was like, I know how to replicate this because I've already done it. I can prove to you. And with Sweet Life, it was mad because it was like from 0 to 6 figures in 6 months. And I was like, what is going on? These are just literally snakes and astro belts. I don't even know what to say, but this is mental. But because the story came from me quitting my career to doing this mad journey, people related to that and wanted to follow the journey that I was going on and support it. And that's where I knew I wanted to help other people be able to do that. And I think having the case study of myself was like, I've done it, I've proved it, I know I can do it for you as well. Which would, you know, going to uni doing this, that and the other, I'm not downplaying it at all, but I think at one time I thought, and a lot of people think it's the be all and end all of the world, but on reflection, no, I wouldn't have even gone to uni or done anything that I've done. I know it's led me to where I am today, but like every time I get that student loan payment come back in, I'm like,
it's that little catch-22.
I just know, fuming.
You needed that to be here, but you also would have imagine if you started sooner doing something else and where you would be today. Considering that, and that's some of the hardest things. So on that topic of kind of you're focusing on your personal brand and the journey. Social media's hottest topics right now. I think that's probably something that a lot of people want to know about. That's one of the main questions I get asked is, what trends are happening now? What is a hot topic at the minute? What can I kind of relate to? What can I focus on? So from your outset and what you see, what do you think are, the hottest topics, hottest trends happening right now?
I think the main thing, and I think it's the best thing to happen to Instagram sets, if we're just speaking about Instagram in general or other platforms, is how much of a community people are now diving into. Like, and the main thing is like, you always said, but how do you build a community? How do you build it? You need to build one, but how do you actually do it? But that is probably the main thing that you need to be doing around whatever business you've got, deciding kind of who you are and what you actually want to achieve with the account that you've got. I think a lot of an issue is that I see, and you probably see it too, is people just looking left and right and going, they're doing this, so I'll do that. They're doing that, so I'll do this. And it just is just not authentic, and it's just not very them, and they wonder why they never create that community. So I would say, if anything, you go in 2025 and beyond is focus how to build that community, whether that's events, whether it's getting people together, whether it's a series, whatever it is. There's something that you can do that's individual to you and your brand that's going to make it stand out compared to others. Even if it's a fitness brand, it doesn't matter who you are. You've just got to find what thing it is that makes your brand stand out. So ultimately, you need an engaged community to get anywhere. I see it a lot of times, like, and you'll probably see it too, like, might have 100k followers and nobody cares about what they're even saying. And they just literally click follow because they've got a couple of viral videos and everything's great and amazing. But like, nobody actually cares. It's just like you made them laugh a few times and that's like the end of it. Like, I would rather have 2,000 followers that worship the ground that I walk on than 20,000 that don't care about what I'm saying. You
can tell that. I think comments is a massive metric on the back of that. And when you talk about engaged community as well, obviously there's an engaged community on Instagram, but there's also an engaged community off Instagram and online. And like the way you just mentioned about building a community and doing events, it's having that offline community which then feeds into your online community. I know gyms are really good at doing it by having a photo at the end of every class.
Literally we do it every single week. They're so good at it. And obviously some of the fitness brands you mentioned, is it BMP Sups, is it? They've just done like the big go one more lap. Oh, I've not seen that.
I've not seen that one.
No,
well, but I think March On are doing something similar, aren't they?
Yeah, March On are really, really good at it. March On, like, are up there with, they've got a really good marketing team behind them as well. But they've got some really good ideas and they know how to bring it to life.
Do you want to shout anyone out? Do you know him?
Yeah, Fran Calvert is someone that I know. Carl works with her more than I do, but she is like really, really good at what she does, and she brings the kind of, not just saying it's just her, there's other people probably doing it as well for them, but like she's got really good ideas, and she's previously worked for Rad, and they're another company that have done amazing things in the space, and they just disrupt it, like doing stuff that other brands aren't doing, which makes them different. They pick ambassadors that are a bit rogue and a little bit like, oh yeah, they're a bit different, like not just going for like, oh, they're a brilliant high roxer. Like they just go for someone like in the CrossFit space, like they've got maybe Danielle Brandon, who's like tattooed, a bit mad, wears wacky stuff, like she stands out and looks different, and she's a bit different to what other people would go and look for, like they're not playing it safe. And I think that's what's probably making them brands like Merch On, like Rad, other brands that you've mentioned really stand out like above others, because they're willing to do stuff that other brands are not willing to kind of go and do.
Yeah, they'll go to the I've been to a fair few of the Phase 7 classes. I think Lauren Calvert, so there's always March On stuff there, so they'll go to your basic classes, and they'll also do your massive event. So there's like
they came to our event.
So there's this big kind of, not divide, but it's connecting with normal people as well as it is your big superstars.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's finding that balance within the community and how you want to drive.
Yeah.
that'll help you deliver that engaged community that we come back to on Instagram. And it's just looking at you know, as you mentioned earlier, you'd rather have, as you say, 2,000 people that want to buy it from you, or I think it's something that's happening with me right now on my personal profile. As an example, so I've probably got 12,000 followers on my personal profile now. However, not many of them are following me because of business. No, they're following me because of who my family is. They're following me because of my travel account. So it's been through this transition of 10,000 followers because I was a travel influencer. Now I'm not traveling. Now I'm posting kind of live stuff, and then, you know, things happen within my family that people are being nosy. So now of course. So nobody follows me now because of my business. So I have this. I'm literally in both camps. I can see it from both sides of the story at the minute. It's this personal profile that I've got, which looks like it's all well and good. You know, I can get thousands of views, I can get a load of likes, but ultimately I'm not going to be able to sell to the people that are on there, because I need business owners of a certain age, which is where kind of maybe the second account comes in that everyone messages on, and I can get leads from them. So I'm always in this constant battle
I bet you are.
Which way am I going? What am I doing? How am I getting there? And and sometimes it can really mess with your head.
I think from that point of view is like, and this is very much a thing for coaches that I work with, is like, your personal page is like, you are the CEO of a company, you are the owner of that company, and this is what you do, this is how you act, this is your life. So on that page it's more very much obviously you and who you are and behind the scenes of it and that kind of vibe, whereas the other side is more the educational and valuable side of you and the business and your results. And having that split is good sometimes, because you can really focus on what I want to do with mine now, is which is like grow my personal brand, which I've never put any time and effort into, because you know what it's like, you get stuck in the rat race of growing everybody else's. Then you've got that divide, so you've got that platform already where you can start leading from the front and showing yourself. Like, we go to one of the, what I would say the biggest brands right now, Represent. George Heaton's got his own page, he's got his own thing. He talks about Represent on there, but he shows the behind the scenes and he leads from the front and shows his training, shows whatever. And then there's Represent the company, which is his company page, and that's very much how I think things are going to go massively. Having that separation is going to be key for if you are looking to do two things, which is grow your personal brand and have opportunities for speaking or whatever you want to do on that side of things, and then also have that company page where businesses can see your results and see your value. And I think that's the same for coaches. They might have their own page where they have themselves, and they might have like a company page which they have where they might have a few coaches on and they do different content on there. So yeah, I think that's not a bad predicament to be in for you, because you've got that kind of thing there. It's just having them two strategies. And with your personal brand, that's obviously there's a strategy to it, but it's just being you, like showing behind the scenes of each week and what you're up to. And like, I think we've actually put this down to talk about, but like, what do you do day to day? I'm like, pretty much the same thing every single day, but people are interested, and like you said, people are nosy. They want to know like what you're up to, and obviously you've got a bit of it.
Days can be dull. So
yeah,
dull.
Days can be dull.
And lonely.
Yeah, they can.
Even though you work in a social space,
they can.
Days can be long and lonely.
Yeah,
Just sat like making Instagram posts for 100 Instagram posts for just 10 different businesses that we've got.
yeah, it is. But yeah, I don't think you're in a bad predicament, and I feel that's the way things are moving forward in the space, like, and be able to have opportunities from both sides.
So how would you decipher? It's a question that I get asked a lot as well. The personal brand versus business personality. How do you split those two, but also connect them?
Yeah.
Because obviously you are a founder, and you might be a founder that wants to promote themselves, but you also got this business. And let's say your business, there's only two people within your business. There's only so much time you can focus on one account. Never mind having to focus on two accounts.
Yeah.
And it's how can a business of a small scale to small to medium balance between business personality and personal branding, because we all know as well that faces sell. And if you constantly posting product photos or shitty graphics that mean nothing on your business personality, then you're never going to make any growth through that either.
Yeah, this is where it's a little bit tricky, and it depends on the business and kind of what you do. But I think a lot of people starting out kind of tie the two together, and they just have one page and it's pretty central. And I think when you get to a point of kind of wanting to share more of your personal journey, then that's where they kind of hit that, like, I know that I need to share value, but I know that I want to also share my journey. So I think on the personal brand side of things, it's kind of what you've learned, all about you, kind of your journey that you've been on to get to where you are, the lessons you've learned, the behind the scenes of day-to-day business life, like what books you read, what podcasts you listen to, all that side of thing, which is just like revolved around how you've really built your business and kind of that side. Whereas on the business side of things, it would be more educational value and how they can implement it themselves. So for me, it might be on my personal brand side, I talk about the mistakes I made when I first set up my original company, for example, or the habits that I implement to be more productive or whatever. And then on the business side, business page, it would be talking about the updates of Instagram, like I did this morning. I talked about the new updates so that people can then look at that and be like, I need to implement that, or they might want me to show them how to use a certain feature on CapCut so that they can save it and then implement it themselves. And also on that side, you can obviously put your results on there and like your case studies and stuff like that, and not feel like you're putting it on and your personal brand's here and then you're putting like a case study somewhere. Like, it just makes sense for me, and I'm not really one to speak because I've got one page. I've got my personal page, but I'm not really utilising that. It's kind of just my page and my business page. But I feel in the social media space it's slightly different. But like if you are like someone who has a product, then I feel like it's completely separate. So I think it depends what business you're in. But on the personal brand side of things, I think it's just a lot about the lessons that you've learned, the things that you do day to day that help you build a successful business. And then on the other side, it's more giving people savable things that they can then save and then look back at and implement themselves. And obviously, I think as well, with everything, the way everything's going with reposts and all that stuff on Instagram, so to speak, it's just making things that are like inspiring so that they can share it, and whether it's just words of wisdom, reminders and stuff like that, which would all go onto your business page, in my opinion.
Yeah, so it's trying to connect. Yeah, trying to connect all that. Is there a business that is doing all of that extremely well? I think there is one. You've mentioned it a couple of times. Yeah. I think
what represent?
No. It's Salt.
Oh, Salt, yeah. Salt are really good. Yeah,
the drinks company. Yeah, if anyone wants to go and have a look at those, we might be able to pop up a little thing.
Yeah,
pop up somewhere. Yeah.
Salt are really, really good. Like I had a conversation. I think we had the conversation about the fact that they've had a little bit of backing. Like there is definitely money there, that you can see that money has been put into that brand. But the ideas, like there was one, I don't know if you've seen, where they're doing like a little sketch and they're pretending they've like in the office. Have you seen that? And they've got like Ricky Gervais. It's class what they've done with it. And like that no one's done that. Like that's so thinking outside the box. And that is just so solid. And obviously they bring their own personalities through by showing you how they're building their brand. Now that's all going on the Salt page for now, but I think in time that'll separate out a little bit more. But I think for now it's important that they show. Similar what I did with Sweet Life. Like I showed myself in my kitchen compared to when I had my own place, my own shop, my own distribution place. Like you show that kind of journey and people love it. And I wish I'd done it even more than I did. And that's what they're doing so well right now. They're showing exactly like what they're doing, and they're not hiding anything. They're showing the failures. They're showing like.
There's a big thing about documenting the process, which is massive at the minute. I think Gary Vee has mentioned it a few times.
Yeah.
And he's been just video. Sorry.
That monster.
Yeah.
Definitely shouldn't have got you that monster.
About documenting the process, document everything. I think it was Gary Vee that first said it, and now it's obviously trickled down, and it's true. A picture that you might never know you needed. So I've got no pictures of me working in the nuclear power plant. Because you're just not something I had. Or you were not on your phone there, don't. So I can't actually visualise, and I can never send a visual to that of somebody.
Yeah.
Even 10 years later, I'll never be able to have it because there's no pictures of me working in the submarines. That's unfortunate. So I'm gutted that I can't take people on that journey. So it's things like documenting everything and having that. And I think somebody said it online. It was it's what you mentioned there between the journey versus the authority. and that's like the two different sides of Instagram and social media that we're seeing right now at the minute as well. So the people have got a lot of authority, they've got a lot of followers, they've got a really engaged community. It's somebody that you trust. They've been doing it for fucking ages. They've posted it thousands and thousands of times, learning constantly, and they're there at the authority now. Then there's the other side of it, which is the journey side, and that's where the episodes are coming in. That's where a lot of episodic content is happening, and you're taking people on that journey, and you're going to teach them how you do it, and you're going to show your failures, you're going to show your wins, and be kind of creative and unique in your journey to the same goal that probably 100 people have achieved already. So it's trying to find where you stand right now, where you want to be, and how you're going to get there in the long run.
Absolutely. I think, like, if you look around social media, you only need to scroll about 10 posts, and it is so fake, unfortunately. So the people that stand out are the people that are real and just show that realness. And we're all the same. We all sit there and compare, or we have imposter syndrome or whatever, and we're looking at other people's content. But getting out of that and not scrolling through so much and just thinking, what am I doing? Like, what have I struggled with? Like, I struggle with my own content very much because and you'll be the same. You're doing so much for everybody else that every other social media person will feel the exact same that we feel, but you never say it because you don't want to say it because you're supposed to be leading from the front. You're the one that's supposed to be putting content out daily. You're the one that's supposed to be have all the answers for every platform and know every update in the world, and you don't. Like, people ask me stuff and I'm like, I don't know the answer to that question. Like, and I think I've actually written it down, like, we don't need to be specialists in every single platform. Like, people think that you should, like, how it's impossible to know every single platform inside out. You know where you specialise and you know where you don't specialise, but I would be scared to say that because I'd be scared that someone would be like, you work in social media, like, how do you not know all of this information? So I think for me it's like, that's me not being real. Like, if I put that out there, perhaps that would resonate with a lot of people. So it's just thinking about how do you actually feel and just actually being brave enough to say it, and that's what will make you stand out about everyone else. Same with the brands that we spoke about, doing these different ideas. That mad Ricky Gervais thing, like, who knew if that was going to work? It was just so random, but they were brave enough to try it. Like,
it doesn't have to be obviously the brands we're talking about are big brands. They've got a big budget to be able to make that, whether it is a perfect piece of content in our eyes. It might not be the perfect piece of content in their eyes, but they're still getting out there. And there's having that difference of being able to showcase that you don't need the perfect piece of content either. One of my biggest things is seeing maybe a social media manager or a videographer doing a certain type of video that think, oh yeah, I could do that, but I know it would take me maybe a day, 2 days, and I don't really have the time to be able to just create one video that's over 2 days. And it's like the match cuts and the cutting down and the different scenes and the scripts and everything, and it's like, it's a great video, I could do that, but then it's actually being able to do it, and by the time you get to the end of the day, you've already edited 10 posts for somebody else, and then you're just like, oh no, get me,
I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow.
But tomorrow never comes.
Literally, tomorrow never comes, and I think that's one thing that you probably do need accountability from somebody. As I'm bad for it, like, I'll never reach out for help, or as in, like, anyone to support me. Like, I'll never kind of let anyone in because I'm quite like, oh, it's fine, I'll just deal with it. But for me, what's been my saving grace of late is carousels. I just love carousels. Like, I am such a big.
You've been finding them out loads. The good ones as well. I see. I see them. I think I need to do that.
Yeah, and they're so easy to make. It's literally either just writing or simple image turned down with a bit of writing over, just look a little bit quirky or whatever. Like, that's all it is. And like this morning,
the picture doesn't have to match the words at all,
it's just literally it's just random stuff. And like this morning, Adam Maziri came out and on his he has like a little broadcast channel, and he put like, we've updated this, we put this update out. You can link up like your reels to another reel, so you can, like, if you're watching a reel, it'll just have another link to one of your reels underneath. You can click it on.
I see that, yeah.
And I was like,
that's mental.
You know what? I'm just gonna just do a post on it, and I just stopped everything I was doing, and I was just like, this is really important that I do this now, because it's reactive to what's going on in my space. and I wouldn't have got my camera out and started filming myself talking about it, because I'd have to film it, probably take 100 takes, and then after I edit it, do the flashing up. I just thought I may as well just do this in a carousel. So that was done. Yeah, it took me maybe an hour to get it out overall, like do it, pull it off, write the caption, whatever. But like I was happy with it when I put it out, because I was like, yeah, I've done what I needed to do. And now I don't need to post now for another week.
No, it works. It works really well. Honestly, I really like reels. I like reels.
Yeah.
I like filming. I like making scripts, and I've got an editor now as well, part of the team. So
that's good.
They can help me with some of the editing. I like the movement. I like telling a story. I like the B-roll clips and showing everything and keeping hooked on. But they take a long time. Yeah, and then sometimes the moment's gone, or sometimes actually maybe I won't post it, or maybe I posted that style last time. I need to figure something else. Yeah. And it's trying to, obviously, it's connecting everything. It's the right idea for the right now. It's being reactive, but also being consistent. There's so much to factor in, and I think when you're in social media, you feel the pressure to perform on every post. You feel the pressure that everyone's looking, like if it doesn't perform well, like you're the leader. So why is your account not massive? Why have you not got this? Why have you not got that? So there's always that, and I feel it. I'm like, I'll just not post that because I just don't know. Like, and I'm telling my clients not to worry about that. But I think from people who are in social media like we are, you are under that pressure, and you feel like people are looking, if they click on your page and one of your posts doesn't perform well, then why are they going to work with you? Because you can't even do it yourself. So, but we know obviously there's a lot more to it than that. Things are never linear. Like, there's a lot more than just the engagement metric says. Do you have any sort of kind of content posting funnel that you discuss with your clients, or?
Because a lot of my clients, I plan for them, so I am holding their hand a lot. So I take the pressure off them quite a bit. But for them, the main kind of hiccup for them is time, and just actually accepting that the content is done. So I just say to them, whatever you've got.
So on the back of that, rather than, I meant content funnel, as in when you're planning the content and the different types and different styles of content, do you have any sort of metric or any sort of framework depending on the top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel style content? How do you work that?
Yeah, it depends. It's bespoke to each client, so it depends on kind of what period of time they're in. If they're in a non-marketing phase, we go very like kind of just all in on making sure we get top of funnel stuff in, and it's just like literally get people in and just get people seeing what we're doing. But then obviously in a marketing phase, I personally don't like doing it over the top. Like, I like having things what are just like maybe every other day touching that kind of heavy marketing focus, because I feel like it just becomes a bit like people are not really listening anyway. So yeah, it depends a lot on the client, and what their account is doing, how it performs. But no, I don't have a set thing that I would just be like, this is exactly what I do, because unfortunately every account is different, and it's never going to be the same for everybody, and everyone's just like, there's just a blueprint that you follow, and then if you just do that it works, and it's not. So it's monitoring over time with the client and then going with what works.
I suppose if anyone that's listening now they don't really know where their account is, what they're doing, it might be the first time learning about social media and how the content all works. We've spoken a lot about top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, but what does it actually mean? So top of funnel is where you're kind of trying to get eyeballs on the business. That's the view. So I think I coined it like the 3 V's yesterday. So this is your views content, and this is where you're trying to get eyeballs on your business. You know, you may be utilising some social media trends, you're kind of entertaining style, you're trying to connect with people on a different level, and you're trying to get eyeballs on the business. And then once they've seen your business, you move them to the middle of funnel, which is then a bit more of your value, your second bit, your value content. So this is where it's educational based, your how-to tips, but you're also bringing a lot of personality to it. You're getting building that trust and credibility through your middle of funnel. And then your bottom of funnel, which is your victory content, which is where you can start changing and posting your lead magnets. You post even deeper educational content, and this is where you kind of force your call to actions to lead that person to an action. So that's, would you say that was following that?
Pretty much. Pretty much. And like I went back to before, like there's no like hard thing that is like bang on for every single person. Like, I've got a few clients who can do the top of funnel really well. They can bring eyeballs there all day, but then they really struggle to get anyone that's truly engaged with what they're saying. So for me, coming in on a strategy, it's like I don't want to have too much top of funnel because I don't want people there who are interested. And then, so you go round in a circle with it, and you think, oh yeah, that just makes complete sense. Like, just get as many people through the door as possible. But sometimes it's like the wrong people, and then they're not going to engage with the middle, and then it's like they're never going to get to where we want them to go.
So an example of that is where I personally had to switch my style of content through my old travel platform. I was forcing views. You know, I was trying to.
But that's the aim of the game in that kind of in that industry, isn't it? So that makes sense.
Like, it's top of funnel.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was top of funnel at the time.
I
was just like itching for viral content, and then boom, it came.
Yeah.
And then over 3 months, you know, load videos just kept popping off left, right, and centre, and it was views, tens of millions and millions, 10 million views. It was crazy, and loads of followers.
Yeah.
But then, you know, you're trying to not change your message, but keep that going. But I got zero cash from it at all, and I was a backpacking traveller.
Shit.
You know, exactly. Like, I've got all these 10,000 followers. Yes, my life's gonna change.
Yeah.
You know, I've got 10,000 followers. Just got this massive case study, 10 million views. Boom, zero money whatsoever.
Yeah.
No cash. So that was a massive learning curve for me, especially when I moved into the business space. Of yes, I know how to get views. I know how to do it, but how can we as a business can we actually convert them properly to then buy and pay for whatever we're selling, product or service wise?
Yeah, it is very, very tricky. Like, I used to see it with my old business. I used to go viral all the time. Like, it was quite easy to go viral in that space, and it didn't necessarily mean that I got loads of sales off the back of it. And like, I'd be like, oh, I've got a really good video there. Like, my website's going to pop off any minute, and it just never did. And I couldn't understand why. Yeah. And like, it's only when you look deeper into it that there's a lot more that goes into the psychology of people's buying behaviours. And like, I've not got a massive following on my personal my company page, but I get constant inquiries. I've always got clients, like, but that's because I've built up that authority on my page with people that are there, and they're so invested that I know that I'm a little bit actually scared of it growing. Yeah. And that sounds, you probably think, what do you mean? Like, no, that's everyone's dream. Yeah. I'm like, but what if I just accidentally get a video that goes off, and I get all these followers that are not wanting to work with me, and my page is ruined? I've actually posted about the exact thing before. About virality actually ruins your account. Yeah, exactly. There's I think there's 4 or 5 reasons where I mentioned that getting a viral video and getting and having a shitload of followers is going to be a detriment to you and your business. I think so. If anyone's listening, I am a personal case here. I am the fault of my own downfall. I love that. Yeah. I actually love that. I think some of the reasons were one, it was because you lose your original audience, as you just mentioned. Yeah. So the people that used to see you don't see you anymore. They're not engaged with you. They're trying to look for you. Yeah. I think the buzz, you can be opening yourself up for a lot of fucking scrutiny that you can't handle. The amount of shit I got for being, traveling. Doing some of the traveling, using some of the I think I used a viral song which was a sad song, and I used it as a happy clip, some happy clips around Thailand, and everyone was just railing you. Someone was getting a lot of comments like bombarding me with how dare you use this song. Oh my god, it's just a viral audio shoot. I don't even know. Yeah. And I think the other one, what was the other one? It was about not being able to, losing a lot of motivation because you never get that buzz back from it. Yeah. Like, I was buzzing the fact that I'd hit that. I had COVID at the time in Thailand, in a hotel room in quarantine, and it just started popping off, and I was buzzing. Yeah. Like, but I'd never be able to replicate that, and soon the downfall. What goes up must come down. Your peaks and troughs. But people don't believe that. You hit that massive peak, and then suddenly Instagram goes, actually, you've done enough now. Yeah. We're gonna throw you back down. Yeah.
And if you could lose so much motivation by coming back down that you'll just never get that high again, and you could lose so much by going viral.
Yeah. Like
it's not all it's cracked up to be.
No, it's not all it's cracked up to be. And people, like, I feel like we are getting to a point in the space where a lot of people in our industry are talking about that. Like Grace Andrews, if you know Grace Andrews, obviously, like she's amazing, and she basically said it's like a sugar hit, like. It's like you have it once and then you're like, you need it again. Like it's like you crave it, the craving for it.
Insane? I was just literally just said that then. It's a massive dopamine hit. You end up buzzing. I was buzzing.
Yeah, but everyone does.
It was like, this is surreal. And then it was like, I'll never get that dopamine hit again. It was like scoring a goal at Wembley in front of 90,000 people. That's how I felt. It's like, 10 million people are looking at me.
You do though, and like, I know what you mean. It is, and I feel like everybody feels that way. I've got clients who still go viral now, and they'll say, "Oh, like God, this has got like 6 million views." I'm like, I'm bothered about what leads you got this week.
Some of the biggest accounts as well. We can have. This is a question I wanted to ask you. Actually, it was regarding UK marketing, social media marketers versus American social media marketers, and the difference between them and how they act. Because you see, I do follow a lot, and they're very, kind of eccentric, and they're just dying to go viral. And a lot of the big guys now, and the big people that are talking about how to go viral, 10 steps to go viral. This is how you go viral, and they're just lapping it up, and they're just constantly lapping it up and lapping it up. And it's not saying no, they're probably right in being able to do it, and it is some ways good to go viral. If you've got everything set in stone. If you've got a good processes and systems at the back that you're ready to go,
switch it on,
So on that was the question. What is your take on, or what is your views on, kind of the difference between UK social media and USA social media?
I just think it's just personality, isn't it, and the way that we are compared to them, really, in the nicest way possible. I don't want to get railroaded on this. No, this will end up going viral. But I just feel like it's just the way that we act, and I think a lot of people who do that, this is how you go viral, it's the same way that you see coaches saying this is how you lose 10 kg in a week. Like, okay, we've lost 10 kg, but like, going to put it back on and double and more. Same with going viral. Like, it's all well and good going viral, but then after it, people are just gone for the after effects, and it's usually left for people like us to pick up the pieces, and that's what really makes me mad, because you're stuck in a rock and a hard place, because the actual client itself wants to go viral. They're only happy if they're performing really well in terms of metrics. And us, on the other hand, are like, we want the metrics, but we want the metrics to match up with the money. And then I feel like social media strategies, maybe it is an American thing, I don't know what it is, but perhaps they're like, I know that they'll be happy if they go viral. Forget about the business side of things. I've done what my job is. Whereas I feel like our take on it is we are strategists, and that's what we do. But our main thing is that your presence is for business, and you need to make money, and views won't make money unless...
It's also, I think we probably see the bigger picture, as you just mentioned, in setting up the back end as well, making sure the back end's right, that you are ready to go viral. For example, Ashton Hall.
I don't know.
Not seen the creator who does, the fitness creator who does all the ASMR kind of running videos.
Oh my God, I've seen it. I've seen I know what you mean,
So he is the absolute epitome of content for views and content for sales. Because he has these ASMR style, coming out of a lift, Jack dude, running alongside a load of dogs and fancy cars, and those just go they'll go viral, they go mad viral. But then if you click on his profile, everyone sees that viral content. But then if you click on his profile, he actually also sits in his car and just kind of talks to the camera. So for every viral video, he's got also more of a content for sales strategy, which is his back end must be really good, that he's now grown to. I don't know what he's sitting at now, probably 10, 12, 20 million followers.
He can handle it.
Because he's been able to handle that viral fame, because his back end has been set up, because he's been doing it for so long. And it's like it's the perfect storm, really. He had a lot of hate from his viral videos and what was going. There's so much stuff. They are just mad. They've got absolutely nothing to do with his coaching either. It's just him looking good, running alongside it.
It is tricky. It is tricky. You still, and I think the issue you've got with some people, maybe not him, but other people, will be like, when they get that viral hit on one, and then the next one they put out that's just like more educational, they don't get that. They're like, may as well not bother. I'll just put all that viral stuff out. But he'll know that that won't get him clients.
Yeah.
So he has to do both. Whereas people are just like, they won't do it because they feel like, well, I know that if I do this, this works. That's my favourite. This works.
Yeah. You've got to stay within your lane as well a little bit. So it just reminded me of another case study of a call that I had probably about a year ago with someone who was in mortgages, and they were part of this group. It was like a mums and mortgages thing, and she was called. She said, my partner, someone who I work with, they've just gone super viral. She's gone crazy. She's just getting a load of followers. The video's gone mental. You know, how do I get that? And then I went and had a look. I look at the profile, and they'd actually gone viral for something that was a bit completely different to what it was, to what the actual business was. And then she posted a business post the day after, and it got like 2 likes. And it's always that moment. Viral post had gone all around America. It had gone all around the world. But she sells mortgages in the UK. Like, it's you don't need that. It might look good on the outset. Oh, she's got all this, but actually, is it going to end up in leads? Is it going to end up in business? Is it going to end up in, you know, you growing your business and sales, or is now your account just fucked?
Literally, and that is like I said, that is my worst fear. The growth of the account to a point of being like, oh, I've actually done this now, and now it's a detriment to what I've actually built the foundations of.
Yeah.
And I think you can always tell when you click on someone's profile, like the first one's got 12 likes, and they've got 5,000, and they've got 20, and then they've got 12, and then they've got 500. I'm
just
like,
go and have a look at my personal profile.
Is it going to give me a breakdown?
Exactly
I can't look.
It's exactly that at the minute.
I can't look.
Just because of what's been happening over the past couple of months.
Yeah.
And then I posted obviously something that was very sales focused, and it got like 60 odd likes, and
compared to what you were getting,
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
It was actually on a piece of content which said it was content reviews versus content for sales.
Yeah.
That was the video, and I said on the video, it's content for sales is going to be a bit longer, more authentic, more unique, but it will get less likes and it will get less views, but you'll get more leads.
Yeah.
And it was on that video compared to the previous one that I posted. It was like a bit of a motivational clip, with all the B-roll stuff. You know, that got a couple of 100 likes. You know, nearly 10,000 views just off the bat.
Yeah.
No sales, nothing. But no leads, no inquiries. But the one that I did post about content for sales, which is slower, it got 60 likes. That was it.
Yeah.
It was not going to get as much. I got 2 inquiries off the back of it, a couple of messages. So it's like that being honest and being open and being kind of at one with yourself. Okay, this might get this, but this might get this, and just taking it a bit.
It's an acceptance
stepping
thing.
back a little bit. And just
people can't accept it. And when I'm doing anything where I'm like, right, I want to look at your stats, whatever, we'll have a look. One of the main things is like, I want to know how many calls you've booked it, like what that, and they're like, yeah, but what about my reach? I'm like, yeah, I want to know that as well. Of course, I want to know that, but the reach is meaningless to me unless I know I can back it up with the fact that we're getting sales.
Yeah.
Like, I know it doesn't always happen overnight, but like if your reach is through the roof and we're not getting any sales, there must be some kind of reason. It could be the time of year. It might just be a little bit of like a bit of an awkward time, but like. You just need to be able to kind of show me that that's converting into that for me to be happy, and if it's not, then I don't feel like my job is complete.
And it takes time.
It does take time, which people don't want.
Yeah, I like to. One of my biggest things that I talk to about business clients is kind of the principles of social media. Even though it is. Everything's ever changing.
Oh, gosh,
and that's probably what it is, ever changing. But that's also probably one of my biggest myths. You know, you like to share a lot of updates and stuff. I don't really care for updates. It's not going to make anybody create a better video, an update and stuff like that. So, but the principles of social media will always stay the same. So you've got to create content. You have to kind of drive engagement. You have to be consistent with it. You have to have volume ultimately. Do it for a long time, and it's fucking hard work. It's gonna be, and it takes time. It's that volume over time which brings out the best in people, and what will separate you from the crowd, really.
What's your thoughts on, like, and I'm always on the fence with this one, is like quality over quantity? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, yours might differ to mine. Like, I always find that I always have a battle with people. In particular, one of my clients is about like quality and quantity. Like, he really wants to push quantity, and I really want to push quality. And I know that when we have a good quality post, that is doing a lot better for us than just putting 3 posts out a day, and it's not quite the quality that I want. I'm putting it out, and I'm just like, like I get frustrated with that. So, what's your thoughts on if you were speaking to a client and
somebody asked me that in a question box actually.
Shout
out to Sam.
There you go. There you go. Thanks, Sam Wood.
He mentioned that. It was something I was going to ask you as well, but you got in there early. My turn.
Sorry,
my turn to go
for
it.
Go on.
My turn to be in the hot seat. I suppose you need to define quantity. Mm-hmm. You mentioned there 3 posts a day. Mm-hmm. That is like overkill. Yeah. I think quantity would be a post a day for me. That would be the quantity versus quality. Yeah. Don't post more than once a day, or else you're just going to end up, you know, burning out, sick of ideas. Yeah. It'll be shit. Yeah. And I think it comes down to both. If you can post quality content, post it. Mm-hmm. Right? If you can post lots of content, post it. Mm-hmm. If you can do both, then you've got hit the perfect formula. Mm-hmm. And if you can do neither, please find some help.
Give us a ring.
Yeah. Well, I'm here. Yeah. If you can do neither, I'm here. But especially it has been over time. It has been a lot of quantity. Quantity will get you where it needs to be, especially on the likes of TikTok. They're like
TikTok.
Some of the TikTok strategies is post 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah.
Don't
TikTok's
do anything.
Mental.
Just kind of put your phone and look into your camera and say some shit, and then ultimately at the end of the month you might grow a bit. But I think on Instagram and especially Facebook, it's a little bit different. I'd say having that extra bit of quality will help better than you posting a lot more. Yeah. So if you are able to post 7 times a week, so 1 a day, great. But if there are going to be 7 shit posts, then don't bother. Yeah. Spend time posting less to increase that quality rather than having awful quantity. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So it all depends on the time the business have got and the ability of the person and how they set themselves up and their expertise and knowledge in the field to be able to do it. If you can post quality content, go on, do it. Yeah. If you can post a lot of content, yes, do it. If you can mix them both together by having 3 or 4 quality posts, I think having 4 quality posts a week is a massive mix of. That's insane. Yeah. That's a lot of quality posts. Yeah. So be honest with yourself and what can you do? If you can only create 1 quality post a week, that's fine. Do it, and then maybe post something that you might think, it's a little bit mediocre. It might work. Quick fix here and there. Yeah. And then do that. It's like it's like going to the gym. Here's an analogy for you that you're going to enjoy and the audience might enjoy. Oh yeah. If you go to the gym 7 times a week, you might end up getting burnt out. You might be injured. You might not have 7. You might have 7 kind of mediocre sessions. Yeah. You do push, pull, legs, back, arms. You might only be able to do like bodybuilding splits, which your recovery is not going to be good enough. Yeah. By the time you get to week 2, week 3, you're burnt out. You're dead. You're injured. You're back to burnt out. You're flat. It. You're dead. You're gone. Back to square one. But maybe if you're starting out or you want to go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, let's say you put a massive session in, you do a big high rocks class, you do it on a Saturday morning, you can do a big high rocks class, and that's you kind of you buy in for the weekend, and then you can maybe do another one in the week, or you can do a little bit of a strength session, mediocre strength session. It's like trying to mix and match. What is my body capable of doing? Yeah. And my body's not capable of doing 7 hard sessions a week. I know I'm brittle. So I think that's what I'm trying to get at.
That's an analogy I use really often, and I always say to clients, because obviously like a lot of my clients are in the fitness space, I say to them, if you had a client that came along and they never trained before, would you say to them, train every single day? you know what I mean? And they'd be like their heads would fall off. So if you're not consistent right now, a strategist should not come in and say post every single day, because it's never going to work. No. It's understanding the client that you've got and what product they have to offer, whether it's worth posting X amount and what they're doing right now, and like you said, what they're actually capable of pulling off. I find it's just like sometimes when it is that much, that each week it becomes to a point where you're just like, you are at burnout with it because you're like, I've already feel like I've talked about the same things 5,000 times. Like, how can I make this more interesting rather than just dialing it in? Having set pillars, like you say, if it's 4 posts per week, if it's 4 pillars that you hit, you know that you've got that variety. And if you want to add more posts in, maybe it's some kind of something else that you want to add in or whatever, fine. But you know them 4 are always that standard that you want them to be. And I don't mean qualities in you've got them on a camera and it's the best audio and this, that and the other. More about the way that you present it and the way you're kind of speaking and what your topic is and whether it's relevant, whether your hook's good. Stuff like that is going to put you in a much better position than being like you said, just sticking loads of content out and just being like...
There's a couple of scary words that people
just
keep,
a couple.
Yeah, there's a couple of scary phrases in our world which people, you mentioned a couple within that sentence there. Let's kind of break them down a little bit to help people. So one of them is content strategy and the other one is content pillars. So what does that actually mean? And how can people in like kind of 1 or 2 sentences understand theirs?
Yes, well, content strategy is obviously something that is a plan for the content that you put out based upon whatever the goal of the business is, whether that's to grow a personal brand, whether that is to sell a product, whatever it is, the content strategy is based around the short and long term goals. So that's what a content strategy is. Personally, for me, like, I work on a 4-week strategy where I plan like 4 weeks at a time for them, and like underneath of like week 1, and then underneath that is the content that I want to see that week. Obviously, it's amendable and adjustable in accordance to how it's performed, and if anything does change, that's what a content strategy would look like for me. Then the pillars is where it gets a little bit interesting, and that is where what you're kind of putting your content around. And for me, they can be actually very, very simple, especially when you're starting out to plan. It's like you don't need to go up above and beyond. For me personally, it would be something that would be of value or education would be one pillar. Something that would be of personal kind of brand or connection, I call it a personal connection. So that might be something that makes you relatable to the person that you're trying to talk to, and some kind of social proof or kind of authority post where you're like, this is how I deliver. So you kind of like, I've done it myself, I've walked the walk, and this is how I'm relatable. Here's some value and advice, number 2, and number 3, here's what I've done for my other clients and this is how they've implemented it. Would be a basic thing to implement for somebody who's kind of starting out, that I would personally say, depending on obviously what space they're in. But I would say that would be real basic.
Your content pillars, it can be a bit of a sore subject, especially in the field, can it? It can be a bit of a, no, it means this, and no, it means this.
Keep it simple, keep it basic. Keep it basic, especially if you're doing it yourself. Like, I'll put on my plan sometimes when I'm planning for people, I'll say I'll put in top that the content pillar, like, that's for me really, like, don't worry too much about it. For some people it might be like, this is an inspiring post for shows, like, and they're probably thinking what, but for me I'm just like, I know I need to make sure that I'm thinking about how important shows are now on the platform of Instagram. So for me it's just like a note that I've definitely got that in each week. So for them it's irrelevant, but for me it's important. So I think just keeping it simple if you're planning for yourself and just being like, I tick these boxes each, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Whether that's 3 posts a week, you can do it obviously in any order you want, but it
derives by what you and your business actually need to speak about as well. You know, it depends on what you want to focus on within the next month, next 2 months.
Yeah, everything
depending on you know what's coming up within the year, what events you might have, what promotions you need to make, and then your content pillars, you know, they are ever changing, which is why it makes it kind of quite complicated and people get scared of it.
Yeah, it is complicated if you're like us and you're kind of want to take it to the next level of being deep and thingy. But if you're on your own and you've not got that advice and support in place, which a lot of people haven't, then that's where I would start. Like, obviously a lot of my people in the fitness space, like, spend time writing down your journey and like take things from that's going to formulate a lot of your content. Have pain points of your clients, have questions that clients ask you, all that things you jotted down can be pulled into them content pillars that we've just spoke about, like, and then that will formulate, hopefully.
People don't understand the power of a brainstorming session, though, do they? And just sitting down and doing it.
No. So every single plan that I do at the top of it has that information that I make my client do beforehand. I make them do a full on board.
Like a discovery
a discovery sheet where I'm like, I need to know your personal journey. I need to know exactly how you've got to where you are now. I need to know exactly who your client avatar is, like what they struggle with. I need to know all of that information, and I need to know like kind of what social proof you've got. I just basically need to know everything, and when I plan, I keep scrolling up and down. I'm reading it, I'm going back to it. I'm reading it, going back to it. Like, the power of that alone is gonna set you in a good place to be able to plan your content. People just sit there and go, oh well, my clients struggle with, or they can't do a wall ball. Right, I'll just do 3 tips to do a wall ball. Well, what about talk about a time you was at High Rocks and you actually struggled to get through the 100 wall balls because of you hadn't done this technique, I don't know, but do you know what I mean? Like, that is a lot more interesting piece of content than going, here's 3 tips to do a wall ball. Like,
funny you should say that's one of the ideas, the topics I'm going to be speaking about as well at some point. It's one of my real ideas is trying not to stop sounding like a Google search. Like, if you type something, that's what you type into Google, or you type into ChatGPT, what's 3 tips to do a wall ball, okay, but actually how has that come about? Why do people need to understand these tips? Why does it matter to them? Why did it matter to me? How is it going to affect them? How is it going to help them and give their problems? So it's understanding the kind of the idea as an entity, but breaking it down and having a good hook, having something that's personal towards it, and then
having the B-roll of a High Rocks, you doing High Rocks over the top would be a good place as well to start the initial bit of the video, because High Rocks is such a buzz at the minute. Having someone failing a wall ball would draw you in.
I'm surprised you said the full word as you was a CrossFitter.
Yeah, we're not going to call any High Rocks out for the depth today. Come on, we're not going to do that.
It's in the gym now anyway, is it not? So you can't run away.
Yeah, no, the thing is, like, with it, bringing it back round for the gym, like, CrossFit has been around for a very, very long time, and, like, obviously it's got a bit of a bad rap of the last couple of years, and, like, High Rocks is coming up, but what people don't really understand is that training for one supports training for the other. Like, being really fit and doing High Rocks and all that will stand you in a good place to start CrossFit or whatever, because fitness is the base of it all, to be fit.
So bringing that into content, then, how do you decipher your content based on you own a gym? If anyone else watching this, there's probably thousands of gyms across the country, across Europe, that have CrossFit and High Rocks within it. How do you decipher the content within your gym, or what you do, or what you and Carl put together that hits both of those kind of pain points and topics?
To be honest, there's no major split in content. Everything is pretty much similar. We just use the buzzword of High Rocks a lot. Like, we have High Rocks classes now, and we'll say, like, High Rocks class, like, we'll put on, like, the workouts and stuff like that, and be very much like that. But the one thing I would say, which has supported us, is doing High Rocks Day, doing High Rocks events, like having, like, when we did our competition, we didn't just do a CrossFit day, we did well, you can't call it CrossFit, but functional fitness day, and we had, like,
high fit,
like, hybrid
CrossFox,
hybrid
Cross Rocks.
Yeah, literally. And then on the second day we had, like, a hybrid day, which was High Rocks. Basically, we had a mini High Rocks at the end of it, which was like a small run through of High Rocks. And by doing that and showing and bringing people together and showing them that we're doing that and inviting them down to the gym, obviously, like, when you're doing a gym like us, obviously we're trying to attract people in the local area to become members ultimately. So inviting people down to these events, having John, who's one of the other co-owners, who has done High Rocks himself, worked with high profile High Rocksers, and another girl that we have as a coach, also really big in the High Rocks space, as in, like, she does a lot of High Rockses, went to Worlds, does all that stuff. Like, having people in the gym that are of a High Rocks focus has then allowed us to be able to people to feel like, they do, I've not been like, right, we're going to just talk about High Rocks all the time. We've just kind of, because our members are very CrossFit, so by then introducing High Rocks and being, they're like, what, push it, like, no. And what we're trying to think, and a big thing is, one of the, like I said, John is over core on it, he's really big on, is that these two run alongside each other. We don't need to pick one or the other. Like, we can do both, and that's the whole point of CrossFit, being ready for anything. So being ready for anything is being able to, if someone said to me tomorrow, you're going doing high rocks, I'm not saying I'd be amazing at it, but I'd be able to do it because CrossFit prepares you for anything. So I feel like that's the message we're trying to get out, is actually you don't have to pick, you can do both.
And it's good. It's funny that you've mentioned everything we've kind of spoke about today, is that having the, whether you've got a variety of services, you've also spoke about having that community aspect, whether it's in online and offline, and it's also everybody having their own personal stories, whether you are a CrossFit trainer, whether you're a co-owner of the gym, or whether you are, you know, High Rocks, somebody taking the High Rocks classes. So it's having that, hitting that blend of people that hopefully leads to gym success. I can imagine. Hopefully, it's going very well for you. I don't know the numbers. You don't have to share them.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind talking about it. Yeah. So a few years ago, obviously, a year ago, we moved the gym exactly 1 year ago to a bigger space. And one of the only reasons we moved was because it had no room for growth. It was too small. I think we were about 77 members when that happened, and we're now at about 120. So yeah, and it's not a cheap gym. It's nice. I'm saying it's cheap, it's not expensive. It's 96, but I'm not selling it here. It's not really good to sell, is it? But CrossFit is expensive because you've got to be affiliated to CrossFit, and that costs a lot of money. So like having them extra members in there is massive, and I would say that the main reason we grow is the community that we have got. Like everyone walks through the door and they are nervous at first, but then the main thing they say is, I feel at home, I feel like welcome, no one's judging me. Like, it is overwhelming. You walk into a CrossFit gym, someone's swinging on the ring, someone's upside down, you're like, what is going on this circus? Everyone's got the top off, like, it's an absolute circus. But through the social media aspect of showing Kaz, who's 65, doing CrossFit, he's going to stand us in a place of bringing other people in, and that's the power of social media. Like, and that's why I love doing the gym social media content, because I'm able to really run with it and like show people what a community we have got.
You've probably gone through that process of which other businesses will go through as well, no matter what business or industry you're in, is understanding your target audience, and then it's having that content for views, content for sales time. You've just mentioned you're a local gym that's hoping to capture local people that are able to afford the membership that you've got, so that that just, your pool of people just shrinks constantly. So you've only got a finite amount of people that you can really target and focus on. And it's understanding that and knowing that, and we don't need to have massive viral videos, because our pool of people is actually so small, and I think that's another thing that businesses need to really understand and check. And it's also the back end delivery that you've just mentioned. Yes, you can sell everything online, or you can get clients in, but unless you've got the delivery at the end, then you're just going to be constantly churning out clients, churning people out. 100%. So as much as the marketing's great, your back end needs to be spot on as well. Massively.
Like, we know that if people come to the gym, or if someone works with someone, like, and their service is shit, or they turn up to a class and the coach can't be arsed, and you know everyone's got a face on, then they're not coming back. But we know that if people walk in there, our coaches are amazing, our community are fab. Like, you're going to see a range of people in there, like literally a range of people, like people who are 50, people who are 20, people, like literally wide range of people. Someone that's doing CrossFit 2 weeks, someone that's been doing CrossFit 13 years. Like, and we know we pride ourselves on making sure the marketing matches that, and we can back it up with a service. And like you said, someone has got an amazing marketing plan and they can sell, and then when they come to it, they're like, it's actually shit working with you. You've got loads of followers, you've done this and this, and I'm coming to you. And this is literally like the perfect thing. It's like, oh, you've got, like, people don't go to you and go, oh, I'm going to work with them because they got 100k. Like, they don't do that. They work with them because they feel like they're gonna,
because they're honest,
and
they're authentic, they're normal, and they speak to your values.
Exactly. Whatever business you're in, like it whether you're an accountant, whoever you are, it doesn't matter. Fitness professional, like, making sure that everything matches up is important, because they're only going to leave, then you're not going to get any referrals, and then it's just going to be a constant cycle of just getting someone in for a couple of months and then going, see ya next. So yeah, 100%. Right,
so off the back of what you just mentioned there, about every business in every industry, I've come up with a little game for us.
Okay.
It's one that I quite enjoy, because I think this is something that I can be quite good at, and from what you've been mentioning today, it could be something that you're really good at as well. and it's trying to generate content ideas and episodes for any business in any industry in any scenario, kind of off the bat. So I've got a couple of scenarios that I've plugged in from ChatGPT, of course.
Obviously.
So I'm gonna read maybe one or two of these out, and then put you on the hot seat, and then you can fire back at me and do the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of industries, but this is the first time I'm going to be doing this game, so I'm going to make it on brand for you.
Yeah, make it easy for me.
So let's say a personal trainer is the industry, and the scenario is they want to attract more clients online, but they hate being on camera. Are you able to give me some sort of content ideas, or maybe an episode series that this person that's having this problem can solve tomorrow?
Yeah, so there's not obviously one way that you can grow. You don't have to jump on camera and talk to the camera if you don't want to directly, especially when you're building confidence. So you could go down the front of doing some carousels, but the only issue with that is a lot of the time you will need that real kind of view and grow to like show the non-followers like what you're about. So I would personally opt to something of a content style that I do really enjoy watching, which is a voiceover style where obviously you can film B-roll and then you can put your voice over the top and provide some support. Obviously depending on what kind of client they work with, it could depend on what series they would do. But if we're taking it like really basic bitch where everyone just goes because it's busy professionals, you might do something like showing off meal prep ideas, like, and they can make them within 10 minutes, and it's like fixing the weekly issue of not being able to do meals, and they could do that maybe every Saturday in preparation for them going doing the big shop on the Sunday maybe, and they'll say, right, Saturday I'm going to make sure that I put something out that's going to provide support for people who are busy, and they're going to go shopping usually on a Sunday for Monday, and then they basically show them how to make easy meals that they can take into the office.
Love it. See, you've been a bit too nice there, I think.
Yeah.
You've been a bit, oh yeah, that's fine, you get off camera.
Don't worry about it.
I think what I'd say, or if I said, if you asked me this question, it would be, right then, a personal trainer, they want to build people's confidence, don't they? So if you're not confident on camera, or they hate being on camera, well, you need to face your fears. So maybe you need to start some sort of 30-day speaking to camera challenge where you just pull your phone out and you talk about a certain topic once a day for 30 days to show people that you are facing your fears, you're growing to be confident, and then it'll build trust and credibility, not just with what you're talking about, but the fact that your journey that you're going on, to then hopefully hopefully grab some more, attain some more clients online that way. So
I like it. Good.
Right.
I like that one.
So number two. Number two.
I'm guessing you're going to go down that list and go straight to gym, aren't you?
No, we're going left field now. No more fitness stuff. Let's go. Right, then this is a little bit personal brand as well.
Okay.
A dentist, right, that needs to make their services feel less scary and more approachable.
If that was me, just thinking completely off the top of my head, I would.
Hey, but that's what this game's about.
Maybe it wouldn't work, but I would probably get someone to do something on like come with me to the dentist vibe series. So they get the patients. Obviously, they'd have to like pick the right patient or ask people to kind of do it for them, and show them like what it's like going to the dentist, so that they don't feel as scared to go. So you could do it on Osmo, or you could just do it on phone, but it would be quite cool to do it on the Osmo, where you're just like showing what happens on different types of appointments. So you could just show a checkup, you could show whatever, like, and show like the comfort that the dentists in that place give them, and kind of give off that softer approach to dentistry from like I won't be like influencer style, I suppose. It's
it's like,
you know
a
what
UGC,
I mean? Like a
UGC style, somebody coming in and this is how easy it is. There's also on the flip side of that as well, that you could do that. I think it's called EGC at the minute, which is the employee generated content. So let's say one of the assistants has a set of meta glasses, and then they can talk you through some of the series as well. So
literally
some of the ideas. Perfect. It's that sort of thing, isn't it?
I think it's easy to just be like, we're the same with the gym sometimes. Like, we'll put content and we'll be like, what are you scared about? Like, just come to the gym. And there's a lot more levels to it than that, but by showing it from someone else's perspective, or like giving them like that different point of view, will be more, give them more reason to come, rather than just being like, oh, it's fine when you come. It's like, we're all dead nice here.
It's like, that thing you mentioned before as well. It's 3 tips to make you feel safer in the dentist, but how can you, instead of sounding like a Google search, how can you ultimately change that to say, the dentist is we know the dentist is a scary place. We do X, Y, and Z to allow you to have more of a happier time, and that can be showcased within the script of the UGC creator that might be doing, that certain piece of content.
Yeah, I'm actually quite happy with that one. Well done.
It was a good question.
Well done.
Dentist, there you go. That's for you when we're looking. That's for you, dentist. Sat it. Go on, Ed. Your turn.
Not got my readers on.
Do you zoom in a bit?
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, this is a tough one because I don't know how to do this one. Car dealership. I'm going to come over here so that you can hear me, but I can't see the screen.
Yeah.
Car dealership. So want to shift attention from just sales to lifestyle and trust. That is tough.
How would a car dealership shift attention from sales to trust and lifestyle?
Yeah.
So I've worked with a couple of car dealerships before,
I'm changing my mind.
It was quite difficult to do. It was quite difficult to do this, and we did it a little bit. And again, it's that behind the scenes. If you want to show lifestyle, you want to show behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You want to show everything that goes into a car dealership before or after a car is sold. Yes, it's great to have sales, but what are you doing prior to the sale of the car that people trust that you're handling it properly?
Yeah.
And what are you doing after the sale of the car that people show that you're doing it properly?
Yeah.
So it's things like you kind of come back to the day in the life of a car salesman. Yes, you might sell a few cars, but what are you actually doing to help the customer on that journey? The customers come in, maybe you're making them a coffee, maybe you're sitting down, you're going through a couple of cars, you're giving them a little test drive.
So there's much more to it.
You're kind of washing the car.
You're
looking at the car going through its MOT prior to it, or its service prior to it being delivered to the customer. So that's what I would definitely do, and having a behind the scenes series of everything we do before and after the sale happens, so that the car drives off, into the sunset, and hopefully never comes back until you have to sell it again.
It's that humanisation, isn't it, of the role, and like it is with the car places. You go in and you're just like I'm like, right, I'm gonna have to take my dad, because I'm just gonna get ripped off here for going on my own.
A car dealership's a big one as well for just posting when a new car comes in. That's all they put. It's like the photo of a new car, which it's very bottom of funnel content stuff, which is great, but some of the best ones that you see, they have everything else incorporated with it. They have walkthroughs of the cars. They'll make you sell the feeling of you buying this new car rather than how you kind of sit in it. I think Will Smith does it. It's in the Will Smith Will Smith in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when he sells that car.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
That's basically end of combo. To be fair, it is one of them. Like I always say, and particularly with the gym, sell the feeling, not the gym. So you're selling the feeling of what happens when they buy a new car. With that, selling the feeling of coming to the gym, whatever it is, like that emotive response is going to get someone to come through and ultimately buy from you or become a member or whatever it is. Cool.
Go on and hit me with one more.
Okay. So a restaurant's just launched a new menu. And there's an item that nobody knows about yet.
Restaurants just launched a new menu, and there's an item that nobody knows about. Okay, I would spotlight it. You would drill down on the fact that this new item is here, and you would drill down on all the kind of ingredients and how did that menu item end up on this menu. Why. You could do like a 3-part series of the chef's journey into the kitchen, why this certain menu item made it onto. Let's say you're changing to a Christmas menu, and now now the switch from the autumn menu or summer menu is hitting the Christmas menu. Oh God, I can't think of a dish at the minute, but a specific Christmas dish. But you want to sell that kind of 3-part series of maybe the teaser, maybe an initial teaser, new menu item coming soon, and then you can have some more bit of bespoke kind of clips about little close-ups of what the item might be. Again, another little teaser.
Guess what it is.
Yeah. And you could play a little bit of a guess what it is. And
bit of an engagement game there.
Yeah, and then you could highlight on the spotlight. You could get the chef, making it how it works. This is a menu item. Spotlight. This is how it does. You could get them to talk about all the ingredients and put in why this ingredient goes with this, why this ingredient goes with this, and then ultimately, to finish it off, if you really wanted to promote it, you could run a little giveaway. You could run a little giveaway in your restaurant. Love-hate relationship with giveaways. Yeah. Very love-hate. Yeah. But in instances like this, it might be worth it. £100 voucher or be the first to taste our new menu item.
Yeah, love that. See, I would have gone at it a little bit different. Okay. But I like that, but I would have gone a little bit different. I would have thought about it months before the item was going to launch, and I would document the process of making the new product, trying different ingredients in it, showing the failures, showing the thing, and show the build up and document this new product launching. So say you was doing it 3 months before and you were in the development stage of this menu, whatever. And then probably 4 weeks out from it launching, I would start collecting that content together and show the product being made until its final product.
Interesting. Yeah. That would work. It would work. It would look really good as well.
You'd take it. It would be hard, but yeah. I don't know what product this is, what food item this is, but that was
the most promoted food item ever. If it had its own 3-part documentary series.
Yeah, literally.
You better follow the cow before it got.
Oh, cool. Right, we have actually got some questions to finish.
Yes, let's round up.
Some things that we have spoke about, so not kind of stuff that we will go back over. But one of the ones was favourite creators, brands that you feel are kind of disrupting the market at the moment, and definitely stuff that we've talked about today with Salt, with Rad, and obviously if you're a coach watching this, someone that I kind of looking at the minute, it's really basic content as well. You probably don't know who he is, but he's called Matt Rhodes. His content is really good, so if you're a coach, perhaps look at his and look how raw it is, and look how he brings his personal journey through to really kind of hit home his message. And I've got merch on down just because they're disrupting the space, and the overall just they're a cut above. And then in the social space, I just always look to Grace Andrews. She started a new YouTube series where she's just documenting her new journey from stepping away from Stephen Bartlett, and that's really interesting to watch because the actual content itself, where she's just kind of doesn't really know what she's doing, as in she doesn't know what her next steps are. She's just documenting it.
YouTube video actually. Yeah. I watched a fair bit of the first YouTube video that she posted when she left, and she famously went viral. The first time I'd seen her was because she famously said that your Instagram should be no place for product photos. Yeah. So what's your view on that?
See, having something that I used to sell products off of Sweet Life, I feel like I had to put product images out at times, if I was selling a Christmas bundle or whatever I was doing. So I feel in them instance it was kind of this is what the product looks like, but I know what she means. I used to show the product being filled, people buying them, what orders they had, why I was putting certain sweets into certain ones and not others, new sweets that were going into certain ones. So although I wasn't really showing the product like a product photo, I was doing what she said in terms of showing it being made, showing people's orders. So I agree with what she says in terms of that, but also I think it does have its place. If you're just launching something and you just want to show the image or a sneak peek of it or whatever, if it looks cool and is on a nice background and looks nice and smooth, then I think it does have its place in certain instances. But the overall narrative of that product needs all the other stuff coming off it to make it come alive.
It's definitely work depending on kind of your budget as well, your budget and your capabilities and what you can do. And I think especially if it's focusing a small business, I think some of they reference the likes of Red Bull. When do you see a Red Bull product on their grid? Well, you don't need to. Everyone knows what Red Bull is because of what Red Bull are. And they're just insane marketers that have this product, and they've got a massive budget to be able to do some of the mad things that they do. They don't need to do that. But I bet when they started they had to.
Yeah.
Or when they were a small business, or when they were just kicking off, they were posting product photos. But just because they're at the heights now doesn't mean that you shouldn't never do something that they don't do anymore. Yeah. You have to like blend it in and do all that.
Yeah. Sorry. It's alright. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, if you look at like Rad and stuff like that, I've put on there, like they obviously do like trainers. They still upload the image of the new trainer, or there might be a reel with the trainer on. It's like moving or whatever. So in a sense, they're still leading from the front. In like, I would say, like I really like the stuff that they're doing because it's disruptive and it's different. Mm-hmm. They're still using the product image. Yeah. When it's first launched, so yes, I agree in a certain sense that you just wouldn't just upload the pictures all the time of one shoe or products like I had in the past, but you might have to at one time show that product, but then it's everything else that comes off it that brings that product to life.
Yeah. Oh. I hope we've just not agreed on everything today.
No, I don't think we have. I don't think we have. I don't think we have. To be fair.
No, that's funny. That I think some of the people that I have not looking up to at the minute, but I kind of, the big thing on social media now at the minute is obviously when you're on there as a person, is that you want to be entertained. Yeah. You want to be something that you can share with your friends, something that you can save and have a laugh at later on, and some of the accounts that I follow at the minute are a lot like that. And I don't know if you've seen Judy's Cafe.
No, I've not seen that.
Right, so Judy's Cafe is
this TikTok or?
No, this is Instagram.
This is Instagram.
Yeah. And Tony from LC Signs. Have you seen LC Signs?
Yeah, I've seen LC Signs. Yeah, that's. But this is the kind of thing that people are just like. I don't know. When you see it, you just like can't help but binge it, can you?
Yeah, exactly. So I think Tony from LC Signs has just taken marketing to a whole new level.
Love you, Tony.
Yeah, he's pushing some certain boundaries which probably not many people can get away with, but
Tony can, so we'll let him off.
Yeah, they're hilarious, and I think we spoke about a couple of things as well. It's as the likes of Ashton Hall I mentioned. There's a guy called Alfie the Creator. Have you seen him?
No, I don't think I've seen that.
You might have come across him at some point. I think he's quite big in the fitness industry, but they've just absolutely nailed this kind of top of funnel, bottom of funnel scenario of utilising social trends and fast-paced content, motivational stuff that kind of gets out there, and then obviously slowing it down later on. I think Alfie does a lot of profile reviews. He does a lot of content reviews, so where he looks at a video on James Smith. James Smith his business page. Yeah. It's very similar. So he's got a massive audience now. He's like, his new account is just bottom of funnel stuff where it's like they're doing profile reviews. They're seeing what's working well and how others are doing it, and saying, literally just pointing out bad and good things that they're doing.
Yeah. I've seen James Smith's his business page is good. His YouTube's good as well. Mm-hmm. To be fair.
Yeah, no, I've followed him for a long time, to be fair, when I used to live in Sydney. I used to live down in Bondi in Sydney, so that's where when he first started his podcast with the likes of Dylan, and that was a few of them. So, it's been. Yeah,
I think he's got a famous quote that is like, it took him 4 years to get one video to do well. Yeah. And I always kind of go back to that. Not that anyone ever listens, because they always go back to why am I not viral? But like, if it took him 4 years to achieve anything with social media, so
it's 10 years. 10 years to make an overnight success, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go.
You don't, and that's the same with social media. You might post for a long time, but ultimately, you need something to either kind of pop off, or just have that gradual, make sure everything's set up properly before you want to start press go.
100%. The other one for me was document, don't create. So basically I got asked what his audience is not who he is. So he works with women who wanted to lose weight, and he's a guy who's bulking. So how does he bring his personal journey across when his audience do not relate to him? And this is one thing that I said to him straight away, is that you can still share your journey, because the principles are very much the same. Like, you need discipline, they need discipline, you need motivation, they need motivation. So it's very much like the end goal is different, but the journey is the same in terms of the principles that you've got to go through to get there. Like, they're losing fat and you're building muscle, whatever, But if you really wanted to document it, you can talk about habit building, you can talk about different things that you do in your life to be successful with whatever goal you have in your longer term plan. So that was one thing that I said to him. But I do struggle to understand why coaches don't work with their own people, because that then becomes unrelatable. But this guy is extremely successful with his niche, so you wouldn't obviously swap.
No.
But it's sometimes hard for me to get my head around. Like, if I was going to fitness space now, I'd work with people in the functional performance, because that's like performance kind of thing, because that's who I am and that's who I relate to. I wouldn't start going, right, come on Barbara, let's lose some weight, you whatever. That wouldn't be my niche, just because it's not who I am. I suppose
you can kind of show you would be able to show or pinpoint really the differences in, okay, why do you do this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then that's all the case study that you've built up. Or if you want to show your journey and document your journey, then why is this good for me, but actually this is not good for you because of X, Y, and Z reason.
Pretty much,
so why I'm doing this, but I do this for my clients because it's, because we're different. We are different, and it is trying to get that really message off, and then it comes down to as long as your case studies are good, and word of mouth, and obviously the service is great. So.
Yeah, this is what this guy was saying. He's like, I'm not that bothered about it, but do you think I should be focusing on it? I'm like, but your niche is just so not you that it becomes unrelatable. So if you start going, right, this is how you bulk, they'll be like, hold on a minute, I'm Sandra from down the road who wants to lose 10 kg.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you not do that for me anymore? So it is that fine line between trying to work with people that you are relatable to, and if you're not, then finding a way to share your personal journey that's not going to be a detriment, which is like habit building, whatever it is, and I have to look at it from a different angle.
Yeah, so I'm almost having like a new leg of the business or a
new
service, isn't it?
Tricky.
And then you're on about creating new accounts for Bulk with Ben,
yeah, literally.
rather than for a different audience.
It is tricky. It is tricky, but that's what I would. That's not the only thing you can do, really. Yeah. And they were my questions.
We've spoken a lot about social media and people having the understanding the longevity of it, and it takes a long time. How have you felt, kind of within you personally, and with your mindset and with your business? Social media has kind of become a bit of a passion to you, and fitness has become a passion to you. How has it felt for you turning your passion into a business?
Good question. It's something that obviously you kind of, it's the dream, innit? Like, you want to work in what you're passionate in, and it does feel good working in the fitness space and being able to collaborate that with my passion of social media. But I also feel like it's come to a point now where I want more for myself in terms of my own personal brand. So now I've got to figure that next step out, because I become passionate about something, and when it's not a passion as much, I want to then shift and pivot. Like, if I kind of fall out of love with something, like I did with my career, like I did with my first business, like I always find a way to pivot before it becomes something I'm not passionate about. So yeah, that's what I would say. It's always obviously a dream to work in fitness and work with these people, but my next step now for me to be more passionate about and believing in my personal brand a bit more, and believing in what I talk about and pushing that forward would be my next kind of thing for me.
Let's stay on that a little bit, whether you want to talk about it or not. You've said it's going to be a bit of a switch up in content style and maybe service offerings.
Yeah.
What is your plan to be able to kind of do that? Do you have a rough guide? What's your strategy to be able to do that?
Yeah, I think for me personally, like, my content has never massively gone, I work only with fitness coaches. Like, it never has. There has been the drops of it within there, because a lot of my content is I'm in the gym, or that's just my life. But I feel like now I'm edging more towards working with people on personal brand and building them case studies up, so that once I've got them in the bank, that I'm then ready to drop that kind of side of things and them services that I know I want to drop in the future. What them services look like, I don't know quite yet, but it would be more on a social strategy basis, but working with more brands who want to disrupt the space that they're in, because I know that I've got good ideas when it comes to stuff like that. I know I've done it myself, and it's just finding a way to get into that space.
So do you have a persona, or do you have an ideal person who you're envisioning now to kind of work, to be able to work with? I want to work with X person because of Y to do.
Not really like obviously there's big brands that I would like to work with. That is not going to happen, but
would you work on the brand side, or would you work on the person behind that brand?
Both, because I think they go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I think they go hand in hand, especially at the stage that I would be working with them at. But yeah, I don't really have any answers for you. I just know that is kind of what I'm trying to do with my page now, is just be more kind of, it sounds wrong because you should have a niche, but more general with my content, because I don't want to pigeonhole myself into fitness space when long term I see myself having a YouTube channel and being more on that side, and monetizing that, and monetizing by going speaking at events and being invited on podcasts, whatever. That is the longer term vision for me, because how long can you stay in this position for without kind of just bottlenecking yourself in 10 years time? And am I going to be doing the same thing? I don't know. I see it evolving into the next step, which that is what I see as the next step for me.
Interesting.
That's not like a good answer, but that's just, I just know over the last month or so, I feel like the fitness industry itself's gone a little bit kind of toxic, and it is very, everyone just wants everything right now. There's not experienced coaches. They're just trying to like grow up and be viral and have coaching brands, and it's very hard to not get sucked into that and actually just see the wood for the trees a little bit. So I want to step back to kind of step forward.
Yeah, you're saying, well, it's the job that you're in, or the job that you have been doing, is being able to visualise what is forthcoming in the social space within a certain industry, and the one that you've been working in. If you understand that you can see where it's going, and there's a way of stepping out of it, then that's probably should speak volumes to a lot of people that are hoping to step into it, or
yeah, literally.
In a sense.
It's tricky because I do enjoy it to an extent. Obviously, like I've built it up, and like I'm proud of what I've achieved so far. Like it's beyond what I thought I could ever achieve in this space. But it comes to a point where it's like, what's the next step now for me? I'm kind of dealing with a lot of people one-to-one. My headspace is very, very foggy. Like I can't think straight. I've no creative flow. Like if I want to do this for myself, then a few steps back will push me in the direction that I want to be in, and something that I'm not afraid of quitting stuff.
No.
That sounds wrong. I'm not going to quit what I'm doing now. But I mean, like, I'm not scared.
Full meltdown.
I'm not scared though.
Laptop in the pool.
Like, literally, I'm not
off.
scared. I've quit a career before, like, and I thought that was my life, and I had nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not scared of.
There's a big turn, coming like full circle back to the original question. There's a big, not predicament, but there's a big thing at the minute about turning your passion into a business, and how it can be a detriment to the thing that you really enjoy doing, and your love for doing it. And it, if you for myself personally, and I love to travel, and I started a travel page, and I would love going out and taking photos, and that's how I built my original audience. And just wanted to take photos for fun. I was a hobbyist, and then as soon as I built that into a business, I literally cannot remember the last time I took my camera out of its box to go and take a photo, until I was in Switzerland the other week. My camera was just collecting dust for ages, and it was just like, where do I find this balance of evolving through the passion and evolving, like trying to make your passion into a business. So sometimes I suppose that's what you want to say to people, isn't it? It's you don't always have to follow your passions if you're happy with doing it, you know. Not everything's not it's easy to kind of, I love doing this, I'm going to make it into a business, but the more you do it, you soon come to a conclusion that it's not a hobby anymore.
100%. I feel like that was a little bit of a fear with me when we took the gym. I was like, what if I don't love this and this is like my home? But I actually feel the complete opposite with that than I do with the business that I do now, because I know that I'm serving a big community and I really enjoy that. I think with ours, you're just kind of always chasing that viral hit, that not for me personally, but your clients always are. You're always kind of doing updates, looking at this, and you can never truly enjoy the process of becoming because you are just always just in that rat race of just going like that, just to try and keep people happy. And
I think that's probably a lifestyle trait I've had as well over the years. I just I thrive off change, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because when I was younger, if you were a therapist sat across from me, they'd probably tell me why. If it was the amount of houses I lived in when I was younger, I was completely moving. I'm just used to change, and people don't understand that. They don't understand that I need, if I'm stuck somewhere for like 6 to 12 months, I start tearing my hair out.
Yeah.
And I need to do something. I need to change. I need to make a big change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it is leaving to go travelling, whether it's moving to a brand new city, whether it's completely dropping my career. Like, and also,
so basically we're both just quitting, so you don't need to watch this podcast.
I'm trying. I think over the past kind of year or so, I'm trying my best to kind of not make as massive, as bigger changes as it's about consistency. Life's about consistency, isn't it, really? And that's one of the biggest things that I've been focusing on this year is, trying to just slow down and trying to settle in and trying to
it's
to
hard though.
Yeah,
it's hard, and I think as well it's ultimately deciding what makes you happy. And like I always struggle with when I'm happy, I don't know when I'm happy. When will I be happy? You're always chasing the next thing, and sometimes it's just like, look how far I've come. What's my next move? Like I'm happy with what progress I've made, but I'm not going to sit here for another year doing exactly what I'm doing now because it's not serving me right. Yeah. Like as happy as I would want to be.
You've got to enjoy that journey a little bit, haven't you?
Yeah.
Peace with the journey.
Yeah. What, should we wrap it up? Have we got any more?
If you want. Do you want to wrap it up?
No, I don't know if you've got any more questions. I can't see, I'm blind.
Not really, no. Well, we're hit 2 o'clock now anyway, so should we just wrap it up?
Yeah.
Do you want to do a call to action?
What call to action are we doing? Subscribe and all that jazz?
Yeah, if you want.
That's awkward.
No, you don't have to. No, you don't have to do a call to action.
I'll let you do that. I'm always awkward with stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll let you do it.
We've not actually introduced yourself at all. Do we even say our names at the start?
No, I don't think so.
No, right, well, yeah, and well, thank you for getting this far. If you listened, we hope you enjoyed our chat. We hope you understood it well enough.
We'll put subtitles on for those who didn't.
Please get in touch if you've got any sort of inquiries for strategy, content, anything you need. Hopefully we'll be able to sit down and do another one of these.
Absolutely.
And if you've got any questions, feel free to get in touch. You know where we are.